Welcome everyone. Today we are going to have a look at what happens when you enter the grave in Islam. And yeah, it's a very terrifying topic. I have lost relatives and friends, and just thinking about it, like, it just shakes your body almost, right? Like, but it's something we need to have a look at, because you also need to do a self-check with ourselves if we are living right? So yeah, let's have a look at this. This happens when you enter the grave. For that intro.
Now, my friends, his soul will be returned inside his body, inside his grave. Now it will be the grave's turn. And what will the grave say? The grave will say, كُنْتَ لَأَبْغَزْ مَنْ يَمْشِي عَلَى ظَهْرِ إِلَيَّ. Out of all the people that walked on me, you, Abdullah, was the one I hated most of all. You, O Abdullah, was the one I hated most of all. O Abdullah, I've been waiting for you all this time. I've been waiting for you to come to me. Now that you have come to me today I will make you pay the price. Today you will know how I will deal with you. At that time, my young friends, the grave will embrace him with such force that the ribs of one side, they will penetrate into the other side.
Ouch!
And Rasulullah ﷺ practically demonstrated this. He took the fingers of his right hand and he placed them in the fingers of his left hand like this. This is what will happen.
Ow!
This is what will happen.
I cannot show this to one of my friends because his name is Abdullah. He will take this maybe a bit too personal. No, I will show it to him anyway as a reminder to live a righteous, good life. But seriously, like, I need to send this to my friend Abdullah after this, because that's really his name.
And now, the angels Munkar and Nakir will come. Jibreel Amin on one occasion asked Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, I want you to describe these angels for me. So Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was told, O Muhammad, without telling you the size of these angels, أبصارهما كالبرق الخاطف وأصواتهما كالرعد القاصف وأنيابهما كالصياص وأنفاسهما كاللهب يطعان في أشعارهما بين منكبي كل واحد منهما مسيرة كذا وكذا. أبصارهما كالبرق الخاطف, that their eyes glitter like lightning.
Wow.
See a flash of lightning? This is how their eyes glitter. وأصواتهما كالرعد القاصف, you know, their voices rumble like thunder. وأنيابهما كالصياص, their teeth are like the horns of a bull. Their hair reaches their feet. The distance between their shoulders is miles apart. You know, if you wanted to cover the distance from one shoulder to other shoulders, it would take you days and days. كَنُّزِيَتْ مِنْهُمُ الرَّحْفَ وَالرَّحْمَ إِلَّا بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was told that in these people, there is not even an ounce of mercy inside their hearts.
Wait, the angel of death comes too, right? So are those like the servants of the angel of death or something? Because I think they are, right? Like, there must be some connection with the angel of death, because the angel of death doesn't have the mercy. He comes to everyone, right? Wait, I think only our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the only one that was ever asked by the angel of death if he can take the soul or not, right? I don't think there's any other prophet, peace be upon them, that was asked besides Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam if the angel of death can take the soul, right? Like, correct me in the comment section if I'm mistaken, but I'm actually, I would say like 90% sure that that's the case, that only Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked this question, right? That can the soul be taken or not, right? But the other prophets were taken immediately, right? The only prophet that I know of that did not experience death is Isa alayhi salam, because he was taken to Allah, right? Like, in Islam, we don't believe that Isa, Jesus alayhi salam, died, but that Allah saved him, right? But, yeah, they must have some connection with the angel of death, because there's no mercy inside their hearts.
Their mercy is only for the true believers. They will come to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
مع كل واحد منهم عمود من حديد لو اجتمع عليهم من في الأرض ما حركوه. Each one of them will carry a hammer of steel. My young friends, all those within the dunya, from the humankind and jinn kind, if they were to get together just to pick up one of these hammers,
what is Dos Hammer doing here?
Moving it an inch, they will not even be able to move it a millimeter.
Wow.
Not even a millimeter. They will come to him in his grave. They will reproach him. فينطحران انتحارا يتقعقع منه عظامه وتظول أعظام من مفاصله فيخر مخشين عليه. They will reproach him in such a manner. Allah protect that every bone in his body will begin to crack. Every bone, they will reproach him. He will faint.
I don't want to find such.
When he comes round, they will ask the three questions. Man rabbuk? Ma dinuk?
What's your Lord, right?
Ya hadha, i'rif makanak. Recognize where you are. Look around you. The dunya has come to an end. You are now inside the grave. Tell us, man rabbuk, who is your Lord?
Yes, that question.
No, you and I were sitting here and we're thinking, yeah, yar, I read the kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Who doesn't know the answer to these?
I think only those that have real iman in their hearts can answer, right? Those that are in disbelief, they just cannot utter the words, even if they know it, right?
Who doesn't know the answer to these? My Lord is Allah, my deen is Islam, and this man is Muhammad. Who doesn't? These are simple. My young friends, you know, in there, if you haven't lived a life according to the teachings of Allah and His Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam,
you will not be able to answer.
Just as those that wine and dine whilst they're alive are whining and dining on deathbed, and rather reading the kalima la ilaha illallah, they're uttering nonsense like give me intoxicants to drink. If you spent a life like this, when these angels ask you these simple questions, and indeed they are simple questions, my friends, you will not have the answer. Now this guy was whining and dining. You know, when the question is asked, Man Rabbuk, who is your Lord? What do you think he will say? Allah says in the Quran, أَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهُ هَوَاهُ. You know, he was one of those, his God, his Lord was his desire.
One thing I'm wondering, Don, I have to research this. What about people that are 50% Muslims? Because I know a lot of 50%ers, and I'm calling them 50%ers because those are Muslims that practice Islam, but they carry out a lot of sins. And like, what about those like half believers? I think they can answer, but with like struggle, right? They're kind of like stuttering it out. Probably it doesn't come so fluent, right? Or they can't utter it, and then they get punished, but at some point they get released from the hell or something. Because I know there are like different stages of iman, right? And that's the same when like the soul is being taken from the angel of death, right? The stronger your iman and your belief, like the soul comes out very easily, right? And if you don't have like any iman and you don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your soul is being pulled out like wet cotton through a fence, right? Or something like that, right? So it's going to come out very painfully. So yeah, I think like if it is based like that on your iman, maybe the same thing is with this answer, right?
He didn't listen to Allah. He didn't follow the teachings of
like
Rasulullah.
The more iman, the
he
easier.
Was following his desires. His desire was saying, you know what, this girl's look absolutely, she's dynamite, she's beautiful. Go for her. He was going for her. His nafs was saying, forget salah, yeah, let's go chill with the boys, hang out on the street corners. He was.
Oh wait! I have to do a correction. It's I think it was wet cotton, like with the soul being taken out. It's like wet cotton through iron comb, right? Yeah, I think it was through not a fence, but like an iron comb. Like you have wet cotton stuck there, right? You're trying to pull it. It just comes out painfully. And that's how like your soul will be taken by the angel of death if you don't have iman, right? But if you have iman, it's going to come out so easily. You're not gonna struggle so much, right? Yeah.
Doing this. His nafs was saying, you know what?
Lesson.
It's not too bad to have a tablet or two. Enjoy yourself. You know, you've only got 10, 15 years, lives to enjoy. That's what he was doing. He was listening to every single thing that his nafs was saying. This was his God, so what is he going to say? La ha ha la adri. I don't know. We'll ask him. Man, they're going to ask him, Ma deen, what's your deen? There was no deen in his life, yeah? You know, he believed that, you know, you turn to Allah when you're 70. You know, when you can't pull anymore, you've got nowhere to go.
You have no guarantee.
You know, bones are cracking, you've got...
Yo, don't trust this, guys. If you're living, if you're a Muslim right now and you're living a sinful life, don't trust that you will live tomorrow. I had a childhood friend from primary school on. We have been friends all this time, and he died all of a sudden. I had like a schoolmate of mine. He actually fell off at the train station, and while a train came. So I know people that have just reached their adulthood or were close to it, and they passed away. You don't have any guarantee. Like you can one time just cross the street and someone fall asleep while driving the car or something, or you get sick or something. Like just look at freaking COVID we had here, right? Like some people are no longer because of this. So this is like you don't have a guarantee for tomorrow. Like this is why you should live every day like it's your last, because you don't have the guarantee. So if you're living a sinful life and you have like weaknesses, it's better to do tawbah every day. And even though you're still sinning, you do tawbah, you do the 5 prayers, than to say, oh, I'm too weak, I can never fix myself. Then be a sinful person that practices and always seeks tawbah, because that's still better than saying, oh, later I will change, right? So whatever struggles you're facing, whatever problem you have, or whatever you're like doing right now that's a bad habit, still try to do tawbah and return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow on this planet. So it's time for a change. And this video should also remind you of every moment can be the last.
Arthritis, you know,
Astaghfirullah, say astaghfirullah.
You become weak, wrinkles on your faces. This is what he believed.
Yeah, what can you do then? You cannot even do many good
till
deeds.
then, you enjoy. So what's he gonna say? What's your deen? There was no deen in his life. He was just a chiller. Man hadha rajul. Who was this man? He didn't know who Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was. He read the kalima la ilaha, but he didn't know who Muhammad was. He never followed Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He used to follow the likes of, Ronaldos and the Messis, the Ronaldinho. He used to follow people like, the movie stars, these pop stars. The way they were combing their hair, the walking the walk, and talking the talk, and the clothes and the cars.
Wait, wasn't it Ronaldinho? There was like one famous soccer player, and I remember like here in Germany, also at my school, everyone went for like this one hairstyle that looks like you take a cup or a pot, a flower pot, and you put this on your head, and then you use like a razor blade and you shave the sides, and you only have hair here basically. Was this Ronaldinho? Like, which soccer player was this? But this was during World Cup. I remember this was a World Cup haircut, and everyone was freaking doing this. This was like early 2000 something. Wait, who was this in early 2000? I'm a 90s kid, so I grew up in this area. But I remember like early 2000s, there was like this one haircut that everyone went for. It was early 2000 something. I think this was from Ronaldinho, but I could be wrong. But everyone like freaking shaved their head, and only there was hair.
You name it. For him, they were the role models. Was he going to turn around? What's he going to say? He's going to have an answer. Ha ha la adri. And at that time, my friends, فَيَضْرِبَانِهِ ضَرْبَةً يَتَتَايَرُ الشَّرَرُ فِي قَبْرِهِ. They will strike him with that mace with such force, my young friends, that the sparks will spread throughout the grave.
Wow.
Sparks will spread. And it will be said to him, look above. And a door will be open to paradise.
Oh.
He will look above. He will the door will be open to paradise. He will be able to see paradise. He will be able to see the blessings of paradise. And it will be said, Ya adu Allah, O enemy of Allah, Hada manziluk law ata'ta Allah. How do you worship Allah? Then this was your abode. But you didn't. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at that time swore by his life. Walladhi nafsi biyadih. He swore by his life.
That they want to go back. Yeah.
He will feel such regret, the likes of which he's never felt before. That's when reality will come before his eyes. He's seeing Jahannam, and he knows now that he's been deprived. He knows what's going to happen thereafter. At that time, Rasulullah swore by his life that individual will feel such regret, the likes of which he's never felt before. A door will be open towards hell, and it will be said, O adu Allah, hada manziluk lima asayt Allah. O enemy of Allah, this is your abode because you disobeyed Allah.
Wow.
And the hot fire of Jahannam will keep on entering his grave.
Wow, like imagine this, you're not only getting shown what you could have had, and then you like regret that you can't have it, but then you get also shown your punishment that is coming, and it doesn't happen right now because there's like this waiting period in the grave, right? So like imagine this, like I don't want to be in such situation ever, but just like to imagine this, like imagine like, hey, you could have had this, but you will get now this instead, and this is like so horrible, like you can't even like last there 1 second, right? And look what you've missed out on. Like, not only do you see what horrible punishment you get that you cannot even bear to see, right? But you have in the back of your mind what you could have had, because you get a glimpse shown to you from this, right? So it's not just fear of punishment, but it's like eternal regret and all that. Like, it's like you're being destroyed from the inside already before you even enter the hell.
And he will roast right till the day of judgment. Hadith of Bara ibn Azib, after the questions, a caller will call out. أن كذب عبدي فافرشوا له من النار والبسوه من النار وافتحوا له بابا إلى النار. Give him the clothes of Jahannam, give him the bedding of Jahannam, and open a door towards Jahannam for him. Thereafter, a man will come inside his grave. قبيح الوجه قبيح الثياب منتن الريح. This man is ugly of face, his clothes are ugly, he stinks. He will come in his grave, and this man will begin to mock. He'll begin to take the mic, and he will say to him, you know what? Abshir.
Wait, a mic?
Abshir billadhi yasu'ak. Good news.
Wait, he's just giving an example. Like, that's not what I've learned and read. There is no mic being given to this person. No. That's just an example, guys. Like, don't take this literally, okay? He's just giving an example. There are no microphones in the grave, I think.
Ugly, he
at least it's
stinks.
not, there's no hadith saying
he
that.
will come in his grave, and this man will begin to mock. He'll begin to take the mic, and he will say to him, you know what? Abshir billadhi yasu'ak. Good news, glad tidings of what? Alladhi yasu'ak. Of that which troubles you, of that which gives you taklif, of that which brings you pain. هذا يومك الذي كنت توعد. You didn't believe. You were just too big to believe. هذا يومك الذي كنت توعد. My young friend, this is the day that you were promised. Allah mentioned it in the Quran, what your outcome will be if you reject. Rasulullah mentioned it in hundreds of hadiths, what your outcome will be if you reject.
Yes.
The A'imma on every Jummah would remind you of the consequences. In gatherings like this, you were reminded of these consequences, but you refused to believe. You didn't believe that you were gonna die. You didn't believe there will be accountability. You didn't believe that the angel will come. Today, you will pay the price.
And you know what? I actually know a lot of people, and I've met a lot of people like this in my life, and they're living like, I'm still young, I'm just, like, I hear some people even say, hey, I'm so young still, I'm just 30 years old. I will live for a long time, this and that. Like, it's actually crazy when you think about it. Like, so many people, even those that have already reached their 30s, they still call themselves young. They've like passed half of their lifespan almost, right? If you're like 30, that means you've already completed almost half of your life when you think about it. Because how old do people get? Between 70 and 90 on average, right? Some say it's like 77 or 78 is like the average lifespan these days, right? So if you're like, let's say you are 35, for example. Yeah, you've almost reached half of it. If you're in your 40s, you're already beyond half of the average lifespan. Like, this is actually something people need to think about. If you're right now in your 30s and you still think you're young, forget about it. You're not young. You've almost reached half your lifespan.
Today, you will pay the price. And he will ask, and who are you? فَوَجْهُكَ الْوَجْءَ الَّذِي يَجِيءُ بِالشَّرِّ. Your face brings bad news. Who are you? He will turn and say to him, أَنَا أَمُلُكَ الْخَبِيثِ. You know the bad deeds that you performed in the dunya? I am those deeds. Allah has given me
manifested
a body
into a
so that
body.
you can see what you did in the dunya. And my friends, when he can see his deeds before him in the form of a body, black body which literally stinks, which black clothing, my friends, he will begin to beg the Almighty Allah. He will now know what's going to happen, my friends, and he will begin to beg the Almighty Allah, Wallah, Rabbi la tuqim as-sa'a, Rabbi la tuqim as-sa'a. Wallah, I beg you, do not bring the final hour. Do not bring the final hour, because he knows that whatever happens thereafter will be 1,000,000 times more severe, and it will keep on increasing and increasing and increasing, and there is no end. Hadith of Bara ibn Azib says, فَيُقَيِّدْ لَهُ أَسَبْ أَبْكَمْ. Thereafter, a blind and deaf tormentor will be appointed to torment him. Blind and deaf. Why blind and why deaf? So you know, when he's crying inside his grave, and he's begging, and he's shouting, and he's screaming, and tears of blood are flowing from his eyes, and he's begging for compassion and mercy to be shown, these tormentors will be blind and deaf, so they cannot see him crying, and they cannot hear him begging. And they will have a hammer. When they strike it on a mountain, it will turn to dust. And when they strike him, all the khalaiq, the creations of Allah, will be able to hear this, other than the thaqalain, that is the humankind and jinn kind. Sayyidina Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu ta'ala relates that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, يُصَلَّةُ عَلَى الْكَافِرِ فِي كَبْرِ تِسْأَةٌ وَتِسْعُونَ تَنِينَ تُنْحِشُ وَتُلْدِغُ حَتَّى تَكُمُ السَّاعَةِ 99 serpents will be sent upon him, and they will keep on biting him till the day of judgment. Such is the venom of one of them, my young friends, that if it was to sting the earth, nothing would grow on the earth right till the day of judgment.
Wow.
99 upon him, and they will keep on stinging him.
We need to seek forgiveness, guys.
Right till the day of judgment. Right till the day of judgment. The reality of the matter is, my young friends, different people will receive different punishments.
True. Depending on the sins you've committed. Yo, that's actually a strong reminder to not live a sinful life. But yo, I need to add something here. I did not intend to hold a lecture, but this is incomplete, because this only shows what happens to those that are disbelievers and were sinners and were not following the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Deen al-Islam. But if you're actually a righteous believer, like, following things will happen. So if you enter the grave, like, not only will your soul be taken out by the angel of death very nicely and not like wet cotton through a iron comb, right? But it will come out softly. So it will already be like very easy, right? For the soul to come. But your grave will be like the waiting period. It will be a very, very big area. It will be as wide as your eyes can see. There will be also a person with you formed out of your deeds, but this time not the bad deeds like there was said here with the person that stinks and looks ugly. No, there will be a very beautiful person, and you look at the person like, oh, I've never seen such beautiful person before, right? And this will be your good deeds, and this will be your company, your good company in your grave before the day of resurrection, right? And you will be shown paradise, and you will be shown also like the glad tidings. Hey, you will enter paradise. Here's the window to paradise. Have a look. This is where you will be. So you will get the glad tidings, and you will be clothed with clothes from paradise. So it's basically, you could say, the opposite of what was said here. If you are a believer and you die as a believer, so like you need to be afraid and scared of the grave. This is true. But you also need to be motivated. And I actually wish this video was longer and would show also what you get if you do good deeds, because this scares you to not do bad deeds, and this is very important, right? But I feel like they should have added what happens to believers too, because now like people that see this are like just terrified. And don't be terrified, because yeah, be fearful, always self-check. You're not perfect. If you make mistakes, seek tawbah. But also be aware that if you refrain from sins, you're having mostly good deeds, you're refraining from like all the evil, you actually believe in Allah, you get up for like Fajr prayer, right? You don't do like anything major sins, right? Then you can have like a very good company out of your good deeds in the grave, right? You will be shown paradise, you'll be clothed in the clothes of paradise. And on Al-Qiyamah, when you're being resurrected, right? And you're being on the final day, right? Then you will go to Jannah, right? So yeah, this is something we have to keep in mind, and we have always need to self-check, because like I said, if you're in your 30s, for example, you have already reached half your lifespan almost. So it's time to change now before you're 70 or something, because you never know if you're even gonna become 70. I've lost friends that didn't even reach adulthood yet. I've seen people in their 20s get very, very ill, and they had to be hospitalized. Some people didn't even come back from the hospital anymore. So yeah, don't believe you're gonna live forever. Like, you can enjoy life, but enjoy it in a halal way. Like, if you enjoy life in a halal way, it's alright. Just stay away from major sins, and always seek tawbah, ask for forgiveness. This is very important. But yeah, this was a very good video. Definitely thumbs up here. And yeah, if you guys are new to this channel, Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. And may Allah protect us and guide us and give us the highest stage in paradise and actually protect us from the punishment of the grave. Ameen. I will see you guys next time.